July 1917, in northern Belgium, the rain began to fall and it did not stop. Near the small village of Passchendaele, British and Allied forces prepared for a massive offensive. The goal was to break through German lines, capture key territory, and end the deadlock of trench warfare. What they entered instead was hell made of mud. For weeks before the attack, artillery pounded the battlefield. Millions of shells exploded across the land, but this region was low-lying, with a high water table. The shelling destroyed drainage systems that had existed for centuries. When the rain came, the ground turned into a vast swamp. On July 31, 1917, the battle began. Soldiers advanced into a landscape that barely resembled solid ground. Each step sank deep into thick, sucking mud, rifles jammed. Boots were pulled off feet. Men carrying heavy equipment stumbled and vanished into shell holes filled with water. Many drowned, unable to escape the mud that swallowed them whole. German defenses, protected by concrete pillboxes, remained deadly. Machine guns fired relentlessly. Artillery shells churned the mud into waves. Wounded soldiers lay screaming, slowly sinking as rain filled the craters around them. Rescuing the injured was nearly impossible. Stretchers sank, horses drowned. Even tanks became useless, bogged down, and abandoned. One soldier wrote, "The mud was so deep it swallowed the dead and the living alike." Weeks passed. Attacks continued. Every few hundred yards gained cost thousands of lives. Villages were reduced to splinters, trees stood stripped and broken like matchsticks. The battlefield stank of decay, cordite, and stagnant water. Sleep was almost impossible. Men lived soaked to the skin. Trench foot spread rapidly, rotting flesh until amputation was the only option. Lice and disease thrived. Shell shock broke minds as completely as bullets broke bodies. Still, orders came to advance. In October, Canadian troops were brought in. They were experienced, disciplined, and determined. Even they were horrified by what they saw. Carefully planned attacks were launched in short stages, capturing ground inch by inch. Finally, in November 1917, Allied forces reached the ruins of Passchendaele village. There was nothing left to capture, only mud and bones. The battle was declared a victory, but the cost was staggering. Over 500,000 soldiers were killed or wounded on both sides. For a few miles of destroyed land, entire divisions were erased. Many bodies were never recovered, lost forever beneath the mud. Strategically, the gains were minimal. Within months, much of the ground was abandoned again. Passchendaele became a symbol not of triumph, but of futility. It showed how modern war could trap armies in battles where nature itself became the enemy. Where men were ordered forward not because it made sense, but because stopping meant admitting failure. Today, the fields of Passchendaele are quiet. Grass grows where mud once drowned men alive. Cemeteries stretch across the countryside, row after row of white stones marking lives cut short. They belong to farmers, clerks, students, and workers, ordinary people sent into extraordinary horror. Passchendaele reminds us of a painful truth. In war, victory is sometimes measured not by what is gained, but by how much suffering is ignored. And in 1917, in the endless reign of Belgium, suffering had no limit.